Hey,
Yo, what's poppin'? What's sorry?
Okay, for real.
It just
Hey!
Hey!
Welcome, wait, what
We're
camera?
so
Welcome to POV, having deep conversation with your friends.
Period.
POV.
We don't have to.
Welcome to the podcast, the youth podcast at AF. We're excited to be back for another week, and we hope this week has no technical difficulties.
Amen. Amen.
To your friends.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. Anyways, we're gonna get started this week, but before we do, we just want to remind you guys that Cafe Youth is this Saturday, and it's gonna be at Adventist Fellowship. I don't know the address, but it's gonna be at Adventist Fellowship in the youth room at 6 p.m. So come out and do that if you're a youth. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
If you're a youth.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of
High
fun.
school up.
But
High school
without further ado, let's get into the podcast.
Yeah.
Look forward to
Yeah.
Sean, who's leading
Sean
out.
and
which camera? Yeah, what up? Yo, what up?
Hopefully Sean's not as angry as he was.
I wasn't
the first
angry.
one.
Okay. You want me to be
Well, nobody
angry?
saw
Oh,
it.
be angry.
No one saw that. Nobody saw the first one. It's
Oh, you got out the mask.
Oh, okay. And we're back.
Yeah, okay, alright.
Square one.
You have to lead this podcast.
Okay, guys. So
We can't
number
have
one.
cool dictators leading the podcast.
Period.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you guys a question. A series of questions, and you guys are gonna have to give me your guys' responses.
Okay. Yes, sir.
The topic, if you couldn't read the YouTube video thing, title is friendship.
Hey, we're all friends, right?
So don't
Since
quote
when?
me on this.
What?
Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure I've had friends.
Really?
You know.
Are you sure about
Crazy.
that?
Yeah.
Like,
Can't
scale
relate.
of 1 to 10, how sure?
-3.
Like, I'm talking like
I
7
plead the
8.
fifth.
So like a 5.
I plead the fifth.
It's like a 5.
No.
So like you're 50% sure. So like we could flip a coin. And
Anyways. Yeah.
First question.
So.
Alright, computer, let's go.
So what? So what's the definition of friendship?
Like textbook or?
Like our opinion.
Actually, we.
That's not a textbook. That's a phone.
Sorry, let me just. Sorry. Let me look at my book. Okay.
That book is
First,
awesome.
give me your guys'
Our
your own personal definition of
Our,
friendship.
Personal definition.
For me personally, I would think it's a relationship you develop with a peer that you go to that person for, like, I don't know, anything, advice, stuff, and you love them as a friend, brother, sister type thing, nothing romantic or anything.
Yeah.
So it's a completely platonic,
Yeah.
healthy
Boo, boo,
relationship.
boo, big words.
This isn't
Yeah.
science. We're not
Big
using
definition
plutonium or
word.
anything. What do you mean?
If you wanted to say something
Plutonium.
scientific,
Come
you
with
should have said
plutonium.
platonic place, but plutonium. Anyway.
Platonic, yeah. I think a platonic relationship between two people that is mutually beneficial
Yeah.
to both sides, and yeah, like everybody's having a good time in a friendship, or else it's a bad friendship.
Period.
Yeah, it also helps to enjoy doing things with that person and to have common.
Common interest.
Common
Yeah.
ground. Yeah. So, according to my textbook,
Which
Google,
is
Google.
it says friendship, the emotions or conduct of friends, the state of being friends.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, that's very helpful.
And
glad
what
you
is
read that.
friend?
You can tell that I didn't look up. You can tell I didn't read it before I said it.
Exposed.
So, Friends, it's actually a TV show.
Yeah.
Flipping the way.
Oh!
Friends.
That's what we're talking about today, the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends, a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond or mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations. So, you know.
So a platonic
Yeah.
good relationship.
Relationship
Yeah.
with a peer, yeah.
No feelings.
Yeah.
Who?
Only
No, no
of
feelings.
happiness.
No benefits.
Yeah.
No benefits,
Nope.
no feelings.
No, no.
Nobody's caught feelings for their friends before.
No one. Anyway, next question.
I haven't.
Awkward moment.
Alright, let's move on.
Trevor?
Oh, steamy.
I mean, it is Valentine's Month.
Oh,
It already passed.
period.
By the way, Sean's birthday is on Valentine's Day.
That's true.
So happy late birthday, Sean.
Wow.
Go in the comments, say happy birthday.
Happy-
40s?
4 days passed. 4 days too
40s.
late, Faith. Yeah.
Well, it's okay. Nobody's going
Wait.
anywhere in this weather.
Yeah.
Who wished Sean happy birthday?
I don't remember.
Happy birthday.
I did.
I don't remember.
Sorry.
I
Okay.
did.
Yeah, you did. You
I
did.
did totally text
Mr.
you.
Siri did too.
I totally texted
The
one.
first person who wished me on my birthday was Dayton, actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that because then I was like, oh yeah, it is your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, good
But-
friends.
Yeah, great.
Great friends.
Great friendship.
Oh yeah,
That-
Yeah,
Setting the standard. for
Other
friendship.
than
Can we get a
that, the
handshake?
next official like sunrise
Yeah.
morning, Anna wished me.
I've never
Nice.
So like
Yeah.
at 12 o'clock, Dayton.
Girl,
told me,
Miss
happy
Man.
birthday, bro.
Spill that.
Okay, next question.
No question.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you wrote that on the board wrong.
I summarized the
What
question.
is most important in a friendship? / Why are friends important to us?
That's literally what I wrote.
No, you said what is most
I feel like
important.
that's too.
God's most important.
Wait. Yeah, let's break that
Okay,
down.
okay.
So first part one.
What is most important in a friendship?
Okay. Anyways.
You
I'd
asked
have to say the most important thing in any relationship is communication, friendship or otherwise.
Wise. That's very wise.
I think truthfulness,
Yeah.
honesty.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Oh, also like vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't. It's not necessary for friendship, but I think for like a deep friendship, vulnerability is like required. Like a close one.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
For sure.
Trevor, what do you think?
Hmm?
What's most
Um,
important?
What
in
is
a
most
friendship?
important in a friendship?
Yeah, pretty much what you guys said. Don't have much experience, but
Oh.
you know.
He's like, friends, who is that?
Who are we, Trevor?
I'm offended.
You're
We're
people in a
You
room.
can't say that on the live stream.
We're still
Yeah,
on.
You're
Dead
being
meat.
captured on
What?
3 cameras right now.
Listen, I'll pull
We
up
got
some
you
words
on
carefully.
4K.
We're friendly.
Like that. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Just say.
Just turn this around.
So then, why are friends important?
All right, Sean. Why are friends? I mean,
Okay, leader.
yeah, leader. Mr. Leader. Sir.
Okay, why are friends important?
Yeah.
Because they can help you get through rough stuff. They're that
Period.
person that's like a lifeline to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think
I came up with that.
friends are like, since humans are such like social creatures, I think friends
Yeah.
provide like a really necessary. Most humans, except for this person, are really social creatures. Friends provide like a really necessary, I don't know, like aspect of life and like interaction and like in a different way than a romantic partner.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, if you're going through life without friends, that just sounds miserable.
Yeah,
Like,
it does.
You're lonely.
yeah,
Just a
because
comfort.
you know, friendships
My
are,
friend now.
like, I feel like friendships are probably going to be your most consistent relationship throughout life.
Yeah.
Because like romantic relationships, they come and go unless you know you find someone. But you know, and family relationships, I mean, they're not always the greatest since you're stuck with them in the same house for 18 years of your life. But friends, you know, it's almost like the relationships you have always chosen to be in, if that makes sense, right? Because I'm not saying like you look to the person and we're like, I'm going to be friends with you, and you're not
You
just
don't
one
do
day.
That's how Anna Rose and me became friends. Like,
See,
I saw
I
her
show
candy and
my
sugar.
way of saying I'm gonna be friends with you by giving somebody a slap on the side of their face.
Apparently, because that was our first interaction. But you know, I
was a
don't
12-year-old
I
that
don't
didn't
know
know how
what
to
I'm saying.
express
I'm
his
just rambling.
emotions.
Yeah, but I get the point. Like
Yeah.
friendships can be like really long lasting, but then there are also those friendships that are like like you know how you have like certain type of levels of friendship with people, like
You got your best friends, your bestest friends.
yeah, you have like
Your brothers and sisters, like
you have your work friends, like they're your friends, but like only at work because like you have no one else, and then you have like your school friends, you know, like they're only your school friends, like you don't really talk to them outside of school, or like your church friends, or like your like friends that you hang out with regardless. You know, like there's different like
levels of
groups. I feel
Different
like.
tiers. You got
I
your-
feel like the elite friendship is when like your family considers them family. Like when they're like we're all just one big family. It's like you know you've made it in life when you have friends like that.
Trevor, what do you look for in a friend?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a totally different question. Are we just gonna?
I'm trying to help Trevor here.
What?
You look very sad, man.
Trevor, why are friends important?
Yeah, Trevor, why are
Huh?
friends important?
Why are friends important?
Because they're there to talk to and do stuff with.
Yeah.
They make life a little less lonely.
It's the music. It's making the atmosphere so sad.
It is.
Should we
Just
switch
like
the song?
slow jazz. Yeah. Something more upbeat.
Oh yeah, 'cause I'm sure he's listened to this before.
I totally listen to all the songs in this playlist.
What's the one song?
They're all 100% Christian.
This one's better, or you keep skipping?
Cruel
I mean-
Angel Thesis.
The
Choose
what?
one that you like,
No,
Mr.
skip.
Street.
Not bad.
Skip.
We should do Cruel Angel's Thesis.
Anyways, next question.
Question.
Why are friends important?
We already answered that.
It's
Oh.
like some like
Later.
R&B.
It's the next one down. Just read
Just
the next
read
one
it off
down.
the thing.
What contributes
What
to
can I'm the leader.
Alright, then start leading.
Learn your okay. What contributes to a healthy / toxic relationship?
So I think that's 2 questions.
Yeah. What can make a relationship,
Okay, listening.
friendship better or worse?
I had a lot of questions on my mind, so I
You
just
guys
merged
have
them.
Yeah, okay, so let's just do like healthy versus toxic and
Alright, so qualities of a healthy versus toxic. Well, I know toxic, then it's normally pretty one-sided, and everything, it's almost like they're, how do I say it? They're in it for them, if that makes sense. Like, they're not really in it to help you out, and they've never, like, heard you out
Yeah.
on anything, or, you know.
They're there for their gain.
Yeah.
So
not
yeah,
yours.
that's what I was gonna say. It's sort of like it only benefits them. They're looking for stuff that benefits them.
Yeah.
If you don't benefit them, just drop and walk away.
yeah. You know, like in science, everybody here is taking biology, right?
Yeah.
I'm in biology.
I thought you were
I
in
don't remember a
chemistry.
thing.
No, he's in chemistry.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
I'm smarter
so
than
there's
him. What
this
can I
thing
say?
called symbiotic relationships.
No, you don't need to take
Mutually
biology to understand what that
symbiotic.
is.
Yeah, that whatever. I learned it in biology. Anyways,
Wait, you remember
so,
stuff
like,
from biology?
I
the
don't.
point is, healthy relationships are mutually symbiotic, and the toxic relationships, I would say, are like more of a parasitic relationship. Yeah, right. Like they're
Yeah.
leeching off you. And your
I feel like
kindness.
toxic, like, what contributes to a toxic relationship is when one friend always likes to start fights. Like, they disagree with everything that you do and everything that you say, and they're always, like, on you about, like, what you say and what you do, because it, like, it doesn't make them look good, or they were offended by it, or whatever. And I mean, like,
we're not talking
fights
physical
between...
fights.
No,
We're talking
verbal
about
fights. But I mean,
verbal.
like... sorry, excuse me. But fights, like, yes, friends will eventually have a fight or a disagreement or whatever. That's cool, that's whatever. But when it's, like, often or continual, and it happens all the time, like, are they really your friend if they don't, like, hear you out and they don't, like, understand what you're going through?
Yeah, I think like at that point you gotta like think about you gotta think about like whether your like personalities are actually matching in a way that you can continue a relationship as friends. Because I do think that's also an aspect of forming friendships. Like, do your personalities match?
Mitch?
Do they match correctly? Because you can't be like friends with someone who you don't like really like. I don't know, you know?
I think it's just more of a rather openness from them, because like I've never met, as long as somebody's open, I don't like, and I guess accepting is the right word. Like, I don't think there's ever been a time where I couldn't be friends with somebody, but they were still, you know, open to the idea or like looking for a genuine friendship.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have a little offshoot of that question. Have you guys ever been the toxic friend in a relationship?
Have we been the one? Like
Yeah,
the toxic one?
I think
Be
so.
completely honest. Don't be like, oh, it's me. I can't be toxic.
I honestly do think so because I like to think I've grown a lot as a person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, just thinking back to, like, how I was. Like, in my head, how I was.
Oh. Girl, then yes, I have too. Because
like-
when we were younger, we were sassy. We were bratty. We were all of it.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I know. Me, never. And Rose,
I don't see
never.
that as actually. I cannot see you being bratty at all.
Thanks, Mr. Ziri.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Were-
honestly, I do think I could have been toxic.
Were
Oh,
you
I
a
was
toxic
definitely
friend,
toxic.
Trevor?
No, not really, but I've had a bunch of toxic friends.
Michael, come on, step up your game. Why are you toxic? It's okay.
Why am I toxic? Oh, I thought you said why aren't I toxic?
Why aren't you toxic, Michael?
Oh, I'm sorry for not making your life worse. I honestly don't know because I haven't held too many friends for too long, like from the age where it kind of matters. You know, so like out of elementary school, I might have been a total scumbag, for lack of a better word, in elementary school. I was entitled. I was so entitled. But I mean,
Yeah,
that's
6th
elementary
grade
school.
Michael just had all the girls after him. He got a
Alright,
little bit
we
of an
don't-
ego.
No, I was
6th
talking
grade.
like to 5th grade. At my old school before I came to TAA, I was an entitled piece of junk. But I don't know, cause I genuinely haven't had friends long enough to almost see where anything goes. Cause normally it's like summer hits or something like that, and then I like step into my room never to leave again, and then all of a sudden like we just didn't talk anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's happened to me too.
I can say I was a toxic friend at one point. That's something I've done.
Yeah.
Not really like made the person feel bad about themselves, but it's kind of like. No, that was before when I was the leader instead of like a follower. I was like, yes, I hold power. I can make these people do whatever I want.
You were manipulative.
I was manipulative.
I feel like sometimes you're the toxic friend, but you don't realize that you're the toxic friend until
happens.
like you grow up a little bit and mature a little bit, and then you're like, you look back and you're like,
That happens
That's-
with a lot
Why
of
was
stuff.
I like that?
I was kind of toxic. Like,
That's why I always do like a mental assessment. With a lot of that stuff, I'm like, okay, put myself in their shoes. How am I perceiving myself?
Empathy.
Empathy. Yeah. And I can't say that saved me all the time, but it's probably saved me a couple times.
yeah.
Okay. What is the most important quality in a person's life that makes/breaks a relationship or friendship?
Qualities as in
Like
like
characteristics.
Yeah, like characteristics.
Not characteristics, like how do I rephrase this? I don't know. I thought when I like,
What kind of characteristics? I mean, it could lead
I guess like what kind of stuff goes into a relationship that
that could make or break a friendship.
I hate people who are just melancholy. They aren't passionate about anything. They don't have opinions on
You
anything.
hate depressed people. Just kidding.
You can't say that.
I
Shit,
just
you will never
don't
be
like it when people don't care about anything.
That's fair.
I get that to an extent, but that's probably because I am a melancholy person. But
Like, I think that's something that, like, since Trevor, you're like pretty driven person. Like, you have a lot of goals and like you know where you're going and like where you're going. And I think like birds of a feather flock together. You know? Like, so I could see like why like you like want to associate with like more like driven people, because like that's the way you are. So like makes sense. Opposites do attract though. So in like in like 10
You
years
said me and
they
Trevor
kind
were
of do. They kind of do. I like.
Did you erase it? You said opposites attract, and I looked over at Faith and I said, you said me and Trevor were opposites.
I mean, you are on the love seat.
Oh, period.
Listen, I stayed here before he did, okay?
just make sure you guys don't go sharing that blanket.
Anyways,
Hand check.
qualities. Other qualities that make or break a friendship.
Someone has too big of an ego.
Yeah.
'Cause then all they
Feeling
can
themselves
focus
too
on-
much.
Yeah. Well, then they'll-
Narcissism.
then
And-
they never
Sorry,
will.
we're not gonna work as friends, Michael. You're amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Another quality is people who just don't know how to stop lying.
Oh,
Narcissistic
pathological
liar.
liar.
Oh.
Those people.
What
are
if it's like a legitimate
irritating.
problem? You're just gonna drop them.
It's like,
Guys, I can't stop
that's
lying.
nothing problem.
No, I can totally stop lying, guys. I don't need your help.
Bro,
Have you ever like known someone like that?
yes.
No.
I have
I've
multiple
known-
people in my life who
Everybody here
are.
knows Brandon.
That's true.
That's not true.
Oh, it is 100% true. I have now come to everything he says. I'm like, that's not a reliable source of information.
No.
So
we love Brandon. This is not
I'm not
Brandon
saying.
slander.
I'm not saying we don't, but I'm just saying.
His
I
mom's
always.
not gonna share a video.
I'm just saying. I always be sure to fact check everything I hear from him. Because there was like, I think it was like 8th grade year, like he couldn't tell the truth, like, at all. I was like, so it got to a point where if I had any question, I'm like, well, Brandon might know, and I'm like, oh, but he's not gonna tell me. So,
The only thing that I like would ever like without
what?
being skeptical when he says it, the only thing that I trust would probably be like anime or video game information.
Oh, he's really good. He beat Pokemon Gold. What is it? Gold Heart, Silver.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I, honey.
He beat.
Sweetheart!
I don't know. I've gotten into the habit
to say that.
Listen, okay, it's this thing. My parents would say it to us, like, "Sweetheart, you don't do." But then,
Yeah.
like, I mimicked them at one point, and then it just sort of stuck.
Yeah, I feel like
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sweetheart.
That's
She said no.
honey. Like you're
I
just
tried it,
talking
it
down
didn't
to
feel right,
somebody.
it didn't feel right.
You know.
Moving on.
Yeah. Listen, it's not my fault. Okay. This is what happens when you
Next question.
make fun
Moving
of
on.
people.
Moving on.
Next
It's on
question.
The, it's
I
on the
don't.
board.
Okay. Oh yeah. Why do you think God intended us to thrive off of friendships?
I mean, that's kind of what we were made for.
Humans are very social
But why?
creatures.
That's why we were made. But why
I mean-
were we made that way?
Because he wanted us to be. Because I mean, if you think about it, why did God make humans? Was there something he couldn't do that humans?
But that
could
was
do?
like a
No.
relationship with him, though.
Why did
He wanted to have
Adam?
a
But so
relationship
then,
with
if we were made to thrive as friends, if he made us to thrive, well, okay, let me rephrase this. Why did he make multiple humans if he made us only to thrive in a relationship with God?
No.
I mean, like, isn't that what happened though? Like, he made Adam, and then Adam was like doing his thing with all the animals, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so lonely."
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what made Adam lonely? Did God implant that thought, like, oh yeah, just one day you're gonna be
Well,
lonely?
it's because
I don't know the answer
Well,
to
I mean,
because
this.
all the animals were paired.
Yeah.
42!
And Adam didn't have a pair.
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
jealous of the animals.
Well, I don't know if I was jealous, but just felt left out.
He was jealous of the relationship.
He's all lonesome.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that's an interesting like subtopic in its own because if Adam like technically hadn't sinned at that point, does that mean he was being jealous, or was he coveting that relationship?
I mean,
Because that's like,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
jealousy isn't like inherently evil. It's like
No,
in the
I mean,
Bible,
it's
it's
kind
like
of
God is
coveting.
jealous.
But yeah, doesn't one of the
Actually-
10 Commandments say thou shalt not covet?
Yeah, but now that I'm thinking about it, that is more material because then it lists off a bunch of things. Like the
Yeah.
closest thing would be like a wife, but that's more probably falls to the more lust category. Or
yeah, it also is like.
It's not necessarily
Yeah,
jealousy, it's just
awesome.
like, man, like,
It's like I want what they have.
yeah, like that would be pretty cool to have.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. My point's made. Moving on.
Cool. Okay,
I don't
well
know.
that
That's a
didn't
hard
take
question,
us
Sean.
long, is it?
Very
I don't
difficult
know.
question.
Okay. How do you know if you are in a toxic relationship?
You're doing all the work.
Or
Yeah.
You're planning everything. You're asking people everything.
Ooh, I think like if you like think about that person and you like dread hanging out or like talking with them, like you like feel like a sort of dread or like unhappiness at the thought of them, then I think that it's like not a good friendship anymore. Like it's like
I feel like when you're the last choice, when you're always the last choice, when like you see groups of friends hanging out and like they're off doing this, and then you ask and you're like, hey, can we go do this? And they're like, oh, I'm busy, like I have plans, oh, I'm busy. Like they always push you aside and they always have room for everybody else.
You
I
make
feel like at that point,
excuses.
yeah, I feel like at that point it's like a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
You
Last
just don't like
question.
them no more.
Do you? No. I have extras just in case.
I still have one more. But...
Okay. Do you believe you can be friends with anyone?
Yes.
Hmm.
Me personally, I feel like it depends on the person because Some people are more friendly and more open and more extroverted than others, and
Does it depend on the person, or does it depend on
I
you?
think it really just depends on what's the thing you.
the music.
It depends on what you agree with them and what you disagree with them on. Because like if you disagree with them on something very serious, you can't really be friends with them if that's always being brought up and it's always an issue.
I feel like if they can push aside like you guys' differences and you can just focus on the friendship between you guys and not necessarily talk about things that you don't like, then I feel like you could be friends.
Yeah, well, because I mean, if we're looking at, like, you can't be friends on something if you disagree on something really important, does that mean, like, I can't be friends with somebody outside of the church? Because, I mean, I'm here, so clearly this is pretty important to me,
Yeah.
right? You know, but I don't know. I think I do see where you're coming from, where if it's posing, like, legitimate issues, then no. But I don't think that just off the simple fact that you disagree on an issue, that's going to stop you from being friends.
Yeah.
I think that being friends with someone, for me at least, it has more to do with the person's personality as a person than like what they
personality of the person.
like what they think about certain subjects. Like if you're a nice person and we disagree on something, then I'm gonna be friends with you still. But if you're like somebody that my personality doesn't mesh with, like I can clearly think of like specific personalities that even if like I was civil with them, I don't think we could be friends because I'm just not the type of person who gets along with people like that. Which is not a bad thing. Like everybody can't get along with everybody. It's not like kumbaya all the time. It's just the world. but like I don't know. I don't think I can be friends with anyone.
But when we go to heaven,
Yeah.
do you think we'll like be friends with those that we weren't friends with, or will we still not have that
I
connection?
mean, aren't we gonna
I would hope
have
so.
to?
Yeah, and I mean, there's also the stuff talking about like renewed body and renewed mind, you know.
So you're not gonna have that
stuff like
hatred towards
And
that other person.
I think like the different opinions on issues will be resolved because there won't be issues.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So okay,
Like politics and stuff like that. That's not going to be a thing in
Thank God.
heaven.
better question I guess I can say is like, if we were as we are now, just without sin, do you think we'd be friends with those people?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
heaven.
because no sin means
No,
no
but, like-
mean people, means no like.
Well, I
Bad
mean, just
people.
because your personalities don't fit well together doesn't mean they're inherently evil.
Well, yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think if there
Well,
wasn't sin, if our
Okay.
like would our personalities be different if there was no sin?
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, are we going to be clones of each other?
What
in
do you
heaven?
want to say, Mr. Smith?
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think we're gonna be best friends with everybody in heaven. I think there's still gonna be people we're gonna be like closer with. Like, do we still? I mean, like, we're not gonna be enemies with anybody. I don't think. But I
But,
think
like,
there's gonna be
acquaintances.
people that you just like click with, and you're just gonna hang out with. You're not gonna be like, oh, I don't want to hang out with Michael. But you like maybe just me and Sean, like really like, let's hang out. You know, like we're just those friends. I don't think you'd be best friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe the voice behind the camera.
That's our daily anecdote from Mr. Siri. Weekly. Yeah.
And-
Mr. Siri is one word of the week.
Anecdotes or the antidote?
Once a week,
I don't know
that's
where I
all
was
he
going with
gets.
that. Okay, here's extra questions. Right, let's just find it real quick. Number 4. Okay, never fucked you. Okay, do you believe that God put certain people in your lives solely for friendship?
Yes.
Yeah.
110%. Because I feel like you become friends with someone, maybe you date them, maybe it doesn't work out or whatever, and you always, like, you continue to be friends no matter what. I feel like those people, like, you don't click with them anywhere else, but you click with them as friends. I feel like those people are put in your life just to be friends.
And I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I find that question really kind of interesting because if you put people in your life, I mean, obviously there's people that he's going to use to help you grow, right? That you might not be friends with, but like, if you put people in your life to do something positive for you and you're not like enemies, like, does that mean you're friends or like? I don't know.
I mean,
It's just
acquaintances,
kinda-
but
Yeah, I know.
I think the friend label is like more than just somebody that you know. Like, cause like there's like levels when it comes to relationships with people, and like acquaintances, like it's different than friends. Like if you just know someone and you're civil, that doesn't make you friends per se. You gotta be like, there actually has to be like a relationship there. I don't know.
So when you're in a relationship, like, how do you know when to start like describing your relationship as friends? Like let's say I go to this one place, I start forming a relationship with somebody. Does that automatically mean we're friends, or that like, you know? I'm not sure if I'm wording it correctly.
No. I understand what you're saying. I feel like once you both put enough effort into knowing a little bit about each other and wanting to know a little bit about each other, then I would feel like you'd claim it as friends.
I think at the point you start inviting each other to do things and hang out,
Yeah.
then you're friends.
Yeah.
Or wanting to be friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there? This is just my own thoughts, but like, is there such importance of drawing a line to where you're called friends? Like, because, you know, most of the time I find it just easy if I'm talking about someone and they're like, oh, who's that? I find it easier just to say, oh, my friend. Even if I don't know them that well, it's just so much easier. But in my head, I'm not thinking, oh, my friend XYZ. I'm thinking, oh, this person.
It's this person I only see on Wednesday nights that I talk to once a month.
Yeah.
It's just
But,
easier
like,
to say friends.
That too, though, I think people who like, I think you could classify somebody who you don't necessarily like hang out with, but like, you know, like how I was talking about like workplace friends,
Yeah.
and, like school friends, like those are still friends, like a different level of friends, I guess, but like, as opposed to someone who's like in that same workplace or school place.
He vibing.
Mr. Sherry's dancing behind the camera. Anyway, so like somebody who's like in that same workplace and you just don't talk to as much, they're gonna be like less. I don't know. I think I agree with what you're saying. Like
I think
there's
it's
like a
just
boundary.
people, like whenever you start wanting to hang out outside of how you got to know each other.
Yeah, instead of being
Like,
workplace friends, you've just gone to friends.
Like,
you know?
instead of workplace, you start inviting them to come hang out, go eat dinner together. Like, if you meet with them outside of where you initiated everything. So, like, meeting with friends at school, meeting with them outside of school.
So it's kind of, the friendship becomes uncircumstantial.
Well, I think we're almost out of time.
I think so too.
We're at 32 minutes before we wrap it up.
Why don't you close it up, Sean?
Close it.
Mr. Leader.
Well, guys, we have learned a lot today.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
This camera.
Okay. Well, guys,
Smiling so it didn't seem like awkward. But yeah, this camera right here.
we have learned a lot today, such as what the definition of friendship is. It is when two people are friends.
No.
We don't need it. We don't need a
We don't
hotel.
need a recap.
But let me
You're
tell
doing
you
good, you're
something
doing
you
great.
didn't know. When I looked up on Google what a friendship is, on that thing where it shows what other people search, the most searched things that came up was, what are friends with benefits?
And that's where we're gonna end.
I just thought I'd share that information with you.
And that's next week's.
Okay.
Come back next week for more fun with us.
Yeah, and don't forget Cafe Youth on this Saturday night at
This
6
Saturday.
p.m.
The 20th.
Yes.
Ooh.
20th.
20th. Okay.
Yes.
It was super cool hanging out with you guys.
People.
Yeah.
These folks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't label them as friends.
Like, comment,
but
subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no.
Bye.
Michael will call us friends.
Huh? What?
You would call us friends.
Oh yeah, just for the sake of convenience, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, that's it.
See you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Whatever.